Financial Survival Network, helping you to survive and thrive in the new economy. Get our complimentary newsletter at financialsurvivalnetwork.com. This is the Financial Survival Network.
Financial Survival Network is presented to you by Regal Assets. Buy and sell physical gold and silver through your existing retirement plan, 100% tax-free with Regal Assets. If you want to include physical gold or silver in your existing IRA or old 401k, request your free investment kit, which was recently featured in the Forbes and Smart Money Wall Street Journal magazines. Call toll-free 855-678-6620, 855-678-6620, or visit regalassets.com. You are listening to the Financial Survival Network. I'm Kerry Lutz on 1590 WPSL, and it's time for another Triple Lutz Report. This is episode 251. It's April 1st, April Fool's Day, and the joke is on all of us, all of you who are depositors in a bank anywhere on the face of this planet. First, our sponsors. This report is brought to you by Jason Hartman, jasonhartman.com, jasonhartman.com. I highly suggest if you're looking to dump paper, real estate is one of the things you need to get into. And that leads us to our next sponsor, Regal Assets. That's regalassets.com. Get rid of your dollars. Take the IRA, take your old 401k. Think about precious metals. Gold and silver, right now, they're at a cycle low, but that's probably not going to last for too long. You want to think about that one. And finally, when we're talking about being prepared for any exigency, for what's going to happen to the country, to the world, to your paper assets, you got to be thinking about prepare-wise, because you need to have a supply of food handy. Their food tastes good. It's emergency preparedness food, freeze-dried, dehydrated food. It's delicious, GMO-free, no chemicals. It tastes good. It's cheap. Call them now. And for all of our sponsors, use the code LUTZ, L-U-T-Z. That's L-U-T-Z. Each of them, when they find out you came from the show, are going to give you something off. PrepareWise gives you free shipping. Regal gives you free setup fees. Jason Hartman gives you something else. So think about that. Go to our sponsors. So the title of this report is Cyprus-Life, Imitating South Park. I don't know if you're a fan of South Park. I watch it periodically. There is a classic South Park episode where Stanley gets $100 from his grandmother as a birthday present, and he wants to spend it. And his father says, no, you got to go down to the bank and you got to deposit it so it'll grow. So, of course, you're a kid. You have to pretty much do what your parents say, unless you're growing up today, in which case your parents do what you tell them to do. That's the difference in parenting nowadays. So Stanley, he goes to the bank, and there's a nice officer. He waits online. He gives him the $100, and the officer, the bankster, says he's going to put it into a money market fund. It'll be rolled over and it'll be invested in foreign currency derivatives. And he takes the check, hits the enter button on his computer, and he says, and it's gone. And Stanley is angered. He's dumbfounded. He just can't believe that he could lose money this quickly just by depositing it in a bank. And then he wants to argue, and the bank officer says, sorry, sir, this line is for customers only. You don't have anything on deposit in the bank. Therefore, you're not a customer. Leave. And he's shooed out of the bank by the bankster. And no doubt there's a lot of Cypriots feeling just like Stanley. They've been duped. And while the small depositors, those holding up to $130,000 on deposit, have finally been made whole, the larger depositors are going to lose a substantial sum, probably over 40% to 60 or 80% of what they had over and above $130,000. Now, as it turns out, there's articles that deal with the fact that the president's family, big company, transferred out 21 million euro the week before the collapse occurred. In addition, foreign branches in London and in Russia of the largest bank were open for business and were not limiting transfers out. So while the EU and the ECB wants to make people think that, oh, the Russian mobsters are getting their haircut, in reality, they got their money out. All the friends of the government got their money out. And the little guys, the middle-sized companies, the big companies got their money out. They were hedged already. They probably had credit default swaps. And the little guy, the middle-sized guy, they take it. They get the shaft. And think about this. Now, if you sold a house on Monday and you deposited the proceeds of the sale, and then they freeze the banks on Tuesday, and you put in $500,000 through no fault of your own, you lost all your money. And I guarantee you the bank that would be paid off for the mortgage, they still got paid. You took the hit. So, look, the elite bankers, they can breathe a collective sigh of relief. They're going to live to loot another day. They're still standing, almost. And while they weren't able to breach the small depositor guarantee, they managed to liquidate the Cypriot banking sector with nary a whimper. No obvious bank runs in Europe, no bank runs in Cyprus, since the Cypriot government immediately implemented currency controls and depositors couldn't take out more than $130 a day, a whole bunch of other restrictions. Everything went off exactly like it was supposed to, or did it. While the rest of Europe's banking system appears to be intact, there's probably a quiet bank run taking place at this very moment. Larger companies are going to invest their surplus funds into Swiss, German, and even U.S. government bonds. They're not going to leave their funds exposed in over-leveraged banks that are insolvent in all but name. Now, smaller depositors, I hope you understand now that the only guarantees in life are death, taxes, and government confiscation. But I repeat myself. The worldwide rush is now on to get one's assets out of unbacked currency, whether that means buying gold, silver, oil, stocks, or real estate. The message is clear. If you don't want to be the next Stanley, you better do something before it's gone. At the Financial Survival Network and many, many other alternative news sites, we've been telling you this was going to happen for years. Hopefully you've paid attention, but if you haven't, I sincerely hope that you are starting to pay attention now, because time is running very, very short. If you look at Charles Nenner's cycle charts, the dollar is due for a major bust in about a year. Is he right? Well, I don't know anything about timing, but his conclusion is certainly inescapable. The BRICS nations, that's Brazil, Russia, China, they've taken the next step towards de-dollarizing. Unfortunately for them, it's probably too little too late. A loss of confidence in banks is a lot like a cholera epidemic. Once the well is contaminated, there's little you can do to stop the spread. But perhaps they're thinking about backing their currencies with gold, which would go a long way towards ending the monetary crisis that the world now finds itself in. So as usual, I wish you all a prosperous week ahead. Thanks. It's Kerry Lutz. Been another Triple Lutz Report, signing off. I keep hearing that many people believe that the best investments are sold by large investment houses. But how many people do you know who got rich in the stock market? I thought so. Jason Hartman has helped thousands of people create real wealth with real estate. He has over 20 years experience, and his company provides the complete solution for real estate investors. Isn't it time you acquired property in diverse, growing markets nationwide for as little as $15,000 down? Don't let inflation destroy the value of your savings, stocks, or bonds. Real estate is the one investment that allows you to profit from inflation. For cash flow and capital appreciation, there's nothing else like it. Make your money work as hard as you do by building an income property empire. Go to www.jasonhartman.com and tell him Kerry sent you.